Yeah, here we go, I'm TJQUAKE, the ghetto gamer on this gaming thing.
And we are here! Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is TJQUAKE, your ghetto gamer! And we're about to explode once again on some craziness, because you guys know that Matt Walsh craziness is out. You know, what is a woman? What is a woman? Do you know what a woman is? How about you? What about you? Do you know what a woman is? I don't know what a woman is. I don't have no idea what a woman is. But we're going to find out, because Matt Walsh is at it again with all kinds of wildness. He's in Africa. He's interviewing everybody that's anybody to find out what the deal is with what is a woman. And ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to my show, if you know my show, if you know what I talk about pop culture. This is TJQUAKE's Ghetto Gaming Pop Culture Talk, where we talk about video games, news of the day, craziness in pop culture, just anything. We got reviews. TJ&MJ, spend your dollar, save your dollar movie reviews is coming. Yes, we got all that craziness. But right now, today, we're talking about an important topic. What is a woman? What is a woman? Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna make it quick today. It's not gonna be that big, long of a deal and everything. But ladies and gentlemen, ever since I was a kid, okay, when I could actually talk, when mommy and daddy, when I figured out what mommy and daddy was, because remember when you was a baby, you said mommy, you said dada, mama, dada. You knew that mama was different from dada, right? Wasn't that the thing? I thought we all knew that. I thought that's the kind of, when we all were first born, those were the words that came out your mouth. Mama, dada. That's what we said to our parents. We knew as we got older that mommy was a woman, a female, XY chromosomes. Daddy's a male with a penis. He has the Y chromosome. That's how you really know what a woman is. I'm answering the question right now to Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh, I know what a woman is. I wish you would have asked me, dude, because all these other crazy fools, I don't know where you went and found these idiots out there, but there must be a whole lot of them, because our world is literally going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yes, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, people. Can you believe we're actually in an age in the year 2022? 2022. I never thought that this would be something of a thing. I don't even thought this would even be a thought process, right? That we'd be asking what a woman is. Yeah. I mean, really? And you got the craziest, because I got some takes out. I got some outtakes for you guys today, guys, from Matt Walsh's What is a Woman documentary. Matt Walsh is going around. He's asking people, because he's being sarcastic if you really think about it. But he's being serious at the same time, because he's really asking a bunch of freaking lunatics what the frick a woman is. And they literally cannot tell you what a woman is. You want to know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because we live in this world of freaking fantasy land of you can be whatever you want to be. If you want to call yourself a walrus, well, you can be a walrus. Everything. Don't worry. There was one lady said to in an interview, he was telling a lady about, I would never tell my kid they can be what they want to be. If my kid says that they're a cat, then they can be a cat and everything. And I would, that's to a child's, I think it was one of the people he interviewed, actually. That would be, I'd be respectful of the child. And, because he was asking something about, Santa Claus is not real. Well, to a child it is. To a child he's real and everything. Yeah, but we all know Santa Claus is not real. Well, to a child there is Santa Claus is real, and his parents are Santa Claus. Okay, the parents are. But there's not really an old, big old, fat, jolly dude going down chimneys and stuff like that. There was actually, though, in reality, if you really want to think about it, Matt Walsh, Saint Nick was a real guy, actually. Santa Claus was created after him because he was this Catholic priest guy they called him Saint Nick. His name was Saint Nick. That's where Santa Claus gets his name from, Saint Nick. And he actually went around giving gifts to children and so forth, underprivileged children and so forth. So he had a big old white beard, the whole nine and so forth. So technically, there was a Saint Nick, a Santa Claus, if you want to call him. But he didn't have all the freaking powers and all the Fantasyland stuff that they got going on now with him, of course. But, the lady up there says, I would let my kid say, if he wants to say that that's a real Santa Claus, the Santa Claus real, that's cool. I mean, we all do that for children and stuff like that. But we at some point in time, reality has to kick in. And we all kind of grow up that, Peter Pan, the Peter Rabbit, the bunny, is not really a Peter Bunny. There's not really a tooth fairy that comes and puts money under your pillow. That's mommy and daddy doing that. And so forth. That we get that as little children, and we play with the kiddies, little play toy. But once you start telling a kid that he's actually something that he really isn't, and everything, and let him grow up thinking that, the kid says, "Well, mommy, I'm a bird. Hey, I can fly. I'm a bird. I'm gonna go jump off that wall over there. That's about 10 feet off the ground. I'm only about 5 foot, or 3 feet." And everything, and I'm gonna jump out that wall and fly. No, now, Timmy, no, don't do that. Bird time to go sit in the nest now. Come on, birdie. And then, no, I'm gonna fly, mommy. No. Well, he says he's a bird. I guess I'll go ahead and let him be that and everything. He's a bird. So, let's go ahead and let's go with that bird thing. Yeah, you're not going to do that, ladies and gentlemen. So anyways, we're going to go ahead here and we're going to play a couple clips of Matt Walsh's flavor. And I find it very crazy and wild what the answers are to some of these people. Now, these African people, they're the only ones that actually make sense and live in reality. That's because, ladies and gentlemen, I think that United States pretty much is the only country that is woke as freaking hell. And all the other countries like Russia and everybody else, they kind of know what reality is. They know what more. That's the reason why Putin don't want nobody coming up in his country now. Because he's like, no. You guys ain't pushing all that woke bullshit over here. Purple hair, blue hair, little freaks. Not over here. Not on my watch. So that's what's going on, really. If y'all really want to know what's going on, that's really what's going on. So these people over here, Matt Walsh goes and asks these people, these Africans, a couple questions, and we're going to get to the woke knuckleheads, but we're going to get to people that know reality real quick. So you guys can.
What if a man decides that his gender identity is woman?
A woman has its own duty, and a man has its own duty, and a lady cannot do the duty of a man, and a man cannot do a duty of a woman.
Can a man become a woman?
No.
No?
No.
What about a transgender? Transgender?
No.
No?
It will look like if you want to become a lady but you're a man, you have something wrong in your mind. Something wrong.
Well, there you have it, y'all. Something wrong. Something's wrong. Do you see where other cultures that still live in reality, they come from the old school. They still live by, Africans. Okay, these are my black brethren from Africa, and they up there telling you straight up that there's something wrong with you. There's some screws loose and everything. And this is pretty much the majority of those continents over there, these other countries. Go to any of the Middle Eastern countries, ladies and gentlemen. You notice that the LGBTQ, you won't find any trace of LGBTQ anywhere in the Middle East. Try going to Saudi Arabia and see what happens to you. They throw gay people off of rooftops. Yeah, they don't believe in the shiz and everything. They think you're loony. They think that there's a demon possessing you and everything. And in most cases, that's probably the case. Something's wrong with you and so forth. Now, I'm going to be straight up with you. I always say this all the time, and I mean this to heart. I mean this to heart and everything. I always say this. I have no problems with what anybody wants to do with themselves, with their lives. You want to be gay, you want to be a trans person, you think you're a girl, you think you're a man when you're a woman, whatever. You want to go by the they, theirs pronouns. I'm a they, I'm a them, whatever pronoun. Hey, whatever, do you. If that's what you want to do, by all means, it's all good with me. As long as it doesn't affect me and everything. Affect my livelihood, my family, and so forth. The minute you cross the line, which is what a lot of these trans people are trying to do, like getting into female sports, like wanting to go into the woman's bathroom with they shiz swang-a-langin' and dang-a-langin' and swap-swapping and so forth in front of little girls. If that little girl happens to be my daughter, I'm going to have an issue with that. You see what I'm saying? That's when it becomes a problem. That's something that these trans people, the LGBTQ, doesn't get. They don't understand this. You want to feel like you're a woman, fine, but don't come up there and start thinking that everybody else has to live in your fantasy world, because we don't. We all still live in reality. We still live here on planet Earth. You guys are out there on Pluto somewhere, and that's cool. Go live on Pluto. You want to live on Pluto? Be on Pluto. You want to be a bird? Jump off a cliff and see how far you go. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that are saying that they're birds and cats nowadays, but I wonder if they're going to jump off a cliff and see if they can actually fly. Yeah. I don't think they're going to do that, do you? Because you guys ain't that crazy. Yeah. But you got all these Looney Tunes, and we're going to get down to some more of Matt Walsh's reviews with some of these people right now. Here's a doctor, Dr. Forcier, this chick. Okay. Now, I think she's I don't know what kind of doctor she is. So they'll reveal it right now. Let's get into what she has to say. As far as that goes, because yeah, I don't know about these people, dude. I really don't know, man. That gun is this just going into the red like nobody's business. Let me bring check 1 2 1 2 1 2. That gun, shit's as loud as it's crazy. Hopefully they ain't clipping. It probably is. And everything, but I had to lay out the Mac a little bit more. But anyway, so let's go and check that video. Let's check that out real quick. Let's see what this woman, this doctor, has to say. She's just hilarious.
At first, and what we found in many of the interviews that you'll see in What is a Woman is that gender ideologues are very polite and nice right up until the moment when you express any skepticism at all. But before we get to that point, where things really start to sort of fall apart, let's get to know Michelle a little bit. Watch.
My name is Michelle Forcier, and I have a medical degree from University of Connecticut, residency, University of Utah Pediatrics, and I've worked for a number of different Planned Parenthoods for 20 years. I do advanced contraception and abortion, as well as gender hormones, and sort of looking at the whole sort of schema of gender, sex, and reproductive justice.
So you've done a lot of work in this field. Could you just start by telling us?
Sure.
At what age can a child first begin to transition into another gender or identify themselves as a gender different from how they were born?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's research and data that show that babies and infants understand differences in gender. Some children figure out their gender really early, and the reason why we say, oh, that's interesting or important is because they're figuring out their gender identity is not necessarily congruent with their sex assigned at birth.
When the doctor sees the penis and says, this is a male, has the sex of male, that's a arbitrary distinction?
Telling that family, based on that little penis, that your child is absolutely 100% male identified, no matter what else occurs in their life, that's not correct.
So what does gender affirmation care? You're a big proponent of.
Okay. So she just said when the doctor tells you that because you see this ding-a-lingy or a little sliver between the legs there, that, oh, well, that's obviously it's a boy because he's got a little penis and two little balls and everything. Yeah, you got a baby boy. Oh, wow. Are you sure, doctor? Because I don't know. I mean, I know he's got a little penis and a little two balls, but I mean, what if the baby thinks it's a girl? Yeah. Well, right now it's a boy. There's no determining anything else. It's that, you know, we've been doing this for thousands of years. It's kind of how we always told what a boy and a girl is. But this doctor right here wants to tell you differently, ladies and gentlemen. She wants to tell you that that's incorrect. That what we've been going over for the last 1,000 years is wrong. Let's continue.
Someone who says my job is to provide the best medical care for you is I need to listen really carefully. And how I put it in words for kids so that they can understand it is tell me your story. Where have you been in terms of your gender and your gender identity? Where are you right now? And more excitingly, where would you like to be in the future?
Have you ever met a 4-year-old who believes in Santa Claus?
Mm-hmm.
So this is someone who believes that a fat man is traveling through the sky on a flying reindeer at lightning speed, coming down his chimney with presents.
Yeah.
Would you say that this is someone who maybe has a tenuous grasp on reality?
They have an appropriate 4-year-old handle on the
Sure.
reality
Agreed.
that's very real for them.
Agreed. But Santa Claus is real for them, but
Yeah.
Santa Claus is not actually real.
Yeah, well, but Santa Claus does deliver their Christmas presents.
Well, yeah, but he's not real, though.
To that child, they are.
When I see a child who, you know, believes in Santa Claus, and then let's say this is a boy and he says, I'm a girl.
Mm-hmm.
This is someone who can't distinguish between fantasy and reality, so how could you take that as a reality?
I would say that as a pediatrician and as a parent, I would say how wonderful my 4-year-old and their imagination is.
You see this app right here? It's called Audible.
Wow. There you have it. She's nuts. She's nutso. Nutso cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Why people like this exist, I don't know. She said, I would tell that child that Santa Claus is very, very much real. Yeah, that is true. And we agree on that, as Matt Walsh said. I agree. Yes, they do think it's very real. But we all know what reality is, though. We as adults know that that's not real. So are we gonna, you know, one day let the kid kind of grow out of that idea that Santa Claus, because we all grew up and finally realize that Santa Claus really isn't. Dad is delivering the parent presents. It's mommy and daddy that are really doing that. You know, we kind of figured that one out when we got to about, you know, age, you know, I don't know, 12, 13, I don't know, maybe 10 and somewhere on that range. You know, kids like to believe in it for a while and then they kind of let go of the fantasy and go, okay, I saw mom and dad putting the presents under the tree. Yeah. So, yeah, you grow up out of it. And that's something all kids do. So kids, when they're kids, they're fantasizing. And we know that. So what Matt is saying is that if a kid thinks that he's a girl at age freaking 7 years old or 6 years old or 5 years old or whatever and everything, he's in fantasy land. And we're going to kind of go, okay, and it's nice cutie, but you're a boy. Everything. When you grow up, you're going to know how, you know, that little thing you got between, because little boys will find out, hey, mommy, daddy, I got this thing between. Yeah, that's because that's what a male has, Junior. Mom, I'm starting to grow these things. My chest is feeling like it's sore and it's getting tender and it's starting to percolate. That's because you're a girl and girls grow those. These are common conversations that we've had throughout time, ladies and gentlemen, and so forth. And now these lunatics like this pediatrician, why is she a pediatrician? This woman needs to be fired now. If you guys see this woman, her name's in the description here. If you see her, hear her name, do not take your child to this woman. She's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, like I've been saying. All these people are crazy. So, We'll show a little bit more of her, but we're also going to go into this other freaking doctor who he gets mad. Well, let's see Matt Walsh's little thing here. Wait, I'm going to get past this little stupid commercial on here because I think it's stupid. I don't know how this daggone commercial came in. Oh, you know what? I think I can get past it by letting it go by. Let it play its little.
You say just this little apple?
You said this little. Shut up.
You know, one of the hardest things is we did this film.
So Matt Walsh is gonna, he's gonna continue his conversation with this lunatic and everything. And as you guys can see, she's a pediatrician with blue hair. But you already know something's up and something's wrong when this old ass woman. It's one thing when the youngsters are doing it. The kids, the teenagers, the 20s, they're in a rock band or whatever and so forth. It's one thing when they're doing it. It's another thing for a person who's supposed to be a doctor, a pediatrician for our children, okay? And she's got blue hair. Can somebody tell me what's wrong with this picture? Can somebody? I told my mom, if you ever see these people with blue hair and purple hair, stay away from them. Walk away. Something's wrong with them. It's not the blue hair, purple hair people that we used to know back in the day that were punkers, That's one thing. They're punkers. They're musicians. These people are not musicians. They're not actors. They're not in the fame thing. No, they just do this because this is what their rebellious vibe is. And we're going to fight the system. We're SJWs, social justice warriors. Yeah. It's one thing when the kids are doing it. It's another thing when it's a grown-ass woman who looks like she's 60-something years old. And everything, freaking wearing blue hair. Come on now. Let's get real. Let's get back to what this stupid heifer's got to say and everything. We'll move on to the other stuff.
Sperm don't make you male.
Then what does?
It's a constellation.
In reality, in truth, okay?
Whose truth are we talking about?
The same truth that says we're sitting in this room right now, you and I.
No, you're not listening.
If I see a chicken laying eggs and I say that's a female chicken laying eggs, did I assign female or am I just observing a physical reality that's happening in the world?
Does a chicken have gender identity? Does a chicken cry?
Well,
Does a chicken commit suicide? Let's
What does that have to do
frame
with-
it because you're trying
The chicken has sex like any
a
biological
chicken has
organism.
an assigned gender, but a chicken doesn't have a gender identity.
So we assign female to chickens when they lay eggs?
We assume they're female if they lay eggs.
You're seeing what Satan has brought into our world and everything. This woman is freaking clueless and she wants you. That's just outrageous. As real as we are in this room right now, when he tells reality, as real as what we are right now in this room, that's real and so forth. A chicken laying eggs is not a rooster because roosters don't lay eggs. That's the male. Only the female chicken lays eggs. The rooster, the male, fertilizes the eggs. That's how it's done. That's how God intended it to be. Male and female, whether it be animal or human. And thank you guys for tuning in for the flavor. Matter of fact, let's go to a commercial break. Okay, we're back from commercial break. All right, let's do this.
This is Lupron, right? Which has actually been used to chemically castrate sex.
In order to evaluate any vaccine, you want to hear both sides of an argument.
All media and information.
Sex offenders?
You know what? I'm not sure that we should continue with this interview.
Let's watch that. One of the drugs used is Lupron, right? Which has actually been used to chemically castrate sex offenders.
You know what? I'm not sure that we should continue with this interview because it seems like it's going in a particular direction.
Well, you're a medical professional.
I am a medical professional.
So you don't want to talk about the drugs that you give to kids or?
Again, I'm a physician and I use medication. You're choosing exploitive words. Drugs I give to kids.
I'm choosing a
chemical
word that was in a dictionary.
That's not a correct term for puberty blocking.
I could look it up on my phone, but I'm pretty sure if I looked it up,
you can look it up on your phone.
It says medical definition: the administration of a drug to bring about a marked reduction in the body's production of androgens and especially testosterone.
And I'm saying, as a pediatrician who takes care of hundreds of these kids, when you use that terminology, you were being malignant and harmful.
I mean, there are some who would say that giving chemical castration drugs to kids is malignant and harmful.
It's about the
You see how she's getting all mad, you guys? You see how she's getting pissed off? He uses a word that is an actual medical term, and she said, "You're using that word wrong. Well, I can look it up in the dictionary for you right here on here it is. Yeah, Google search says it's menstruating. It's a menstruating thing. It castrates. It's used for inmates who've done things like raping people and stuff like that." And she said, "But I don't like the way you're using the word." Woman, the word tells you what it is. You are freaking delusional and you don't want to live in reality. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're dealing with when we're dealing with the left, the far left. This is the reason why these people, in my personal opinion, are possessed by demons. They are evil, in my personal opinion. And that's just my personal opinion, because they want to push this bullshit on our children. He's simply saying, you're going to give this shiz to children. See where this shiz is going, ladies and gentlemen? It goes beyond just them doing it to themselves. No, they want to do it to children, to other people, to your kid. And when they want to do that to my kid, your kid, whatever, they're crossing the line. This is the reason why we have a problem with it. This is the reason why I have a problem saying they, their, them, and them, because then it becomes to a point where they will put you in jail. Oh, yeah, there's a guy that went to jail. I forgot what state this was in. It's got to be the most lunatic thing I've ever heard. He called his son a he. His son identifies as a she. Well, he went and reported his dad and said, you're misgendering your female kid there, your transgender kid. Oh, because he's a he. Sorry, cop the cuffs on him. Wait a minute, hold up. Yeah, that's how crazy it's getting, ladies and gentlemen. So when it gets to that kind of point, that's when we had to say, sorry, we're done with your guys' bullshit. We're done. We're not playing that shit no more, because you guys have gone too far now. You're crossing freaking lines that shouldn't be crossed. Y'all didn't want to keep it over there on your side and just keep it to yourselves and just be happy with you being where you want to be. No, you want the rest of society to be forced into your freaking fantasy world. And that's where we have a problem. That's where it gets crazy and stupid. And that's why people like this woman here should be locked up in an insane asylum and everything. Well, you're a doctor, right? Yeah, I'm a pediatrician. Well, these are words that the freaking medical, society came up with, and now you're telling me you don't want to use the word. It's offensive. Really? It's like, what world are we living in, ladies and gentlemen? Let's continue. On with the craziness. Hold up, let me bring my mic down real quick.
context of caring for a child and seeing the suffering that kids can have that have not been in affirmative home situations.
So that was the part in our conversation where things.
Okay. So she's going on, battling on about a bunch of other stupid shiz and whatnot and everything. And shiz just probably starts going haywire, because you notice she wanted to stop the interview now, because now it's getting to a point where she doesn't like the questions that are being asked. Oh, because now they don't really have real answers, because now they realize that they're looking stupid answering these questions. They realize that real reality questions, society is now looking at you and they're going, you're a doctor? You're a doctor? And she doesn't want to lose her practice, ladies and gentlemen, because when people see this tape, when they see this Matt Walsh documentary that she was stupid enough to be a part of, her career is over and everything. Her career is over. People are going to be like, oh, hell to the no and everything. The only people who are going to be going to her are the weirdos, the parents that buy into, oh, my child wants to be a girl. Just go ahead and let him go and get on these drugs that freaking, she don't want to call it the word what it is. It's a drug. Well, you're using the word drug. You shouldn't say drug. That's an elusive word. That's saying in a negative context. What the hell? What? get into what Matt Walsh's thing is here. Let's plug his show here. He's got a trailer right now. Let's check out this trailer real quick on his deal right now. Put my mic.
I have traveled all over the world for the past year asking one simple question. What is a woman? What is a woman?
What is it?
What is it?
I don't know.
People are laughing. Is that a dumb question? I've been asking everybody this, and almost nobody can answer it.
What is a woman?
What is a woman?
That's a great question.
If one person could tell me what a woman is. Congressman, thank you for being here.
I think this interview is over. Let's turn off the cameras.
I just wanted to know, what is a woman?
And you're not going to find out.
It's not a complicated question.
She's right, you guys. It's not a complicated question. It's not a complicated question. What's a woman? Like I said earlier, it's a person with an X and Y chromosome. You know, biology, simple biology tells us what that is. You know, we had a woman who is something, I forgot something Jackson and everything. I'm sad that she even has my last name and everything, Jackson. Because this woman is going to be Supreme Court justice now. Somebody that you know, Biden picked only because she's black and she's a woman. That's the only reason why he picked her and everything. Not because she's credible, she has merit and she's got credible, you know, work ethics and everything else and all these things that make, you know, a good Supreme Court justice. No, he picked her because she's just black and she's a woman. So the freaking question was asked of her of one of the Congress people and everything. And, you know, when they're, you know, seeing if this chick is going to be worthy enough to be Supreme Court justice. And she was asked the most simplest question. Mrs. Jackson, well, what is a woman? And she looked at her like, I don't know. I'm not a biologist. What? You're not a biologist. Woman, you are going for a Supreme Court justice. And these people will wonder, well, why would you ask a question like that? That's because this is something that's going to come up in court hearings, come to the Supreme Court soon, because we got all these lunatics trying to press this stuff on people like, you know, women who have sports and these transgender, women who want to be on the women's sports, who are men actually, are beating out the women. And so it's coming to a point where it's going to get, these girls are going to start suing. They're going to start saying, hey, we can't have this no more. Let's take this to court. And we're going to freaking go take it to the Supreme Court. And that means that's going to come down to you, Mrs. Jackson, that you're going to have to determine what a woman is. Hello?
Louisiana is banning biological males from competing in female sports from kindergarten through 12th grade, as well as at the collegiate level. SB 44 passed into law yesterday without Governor John Bel Edwards' signature. The governor expressed his disagreement with the legislation, but commented that the bill's passage into law was inevitable based on the support in the State House. And joining us now is Matt Walsh, host of The Matt Walsh Show on the Daily Wire.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That state right there basically said a hell to the no. We ain't going with this stupidity that a man, just because he wants to be a woman, could be joining in female sports, because it's not fair to real women. See, the people that are really protecting women are people like myself and conservatives, people that have godly morals and just morals in general, people that just have a brain. Those are the people that are actually protecting women. Matt Walsh is walking in a women's march. He asked freaking women in a women's march, hey, what a woman is. And these freaking girls couldn't freaking tell him. They were paused. You saw it in the trailer and so forth. They're like, and these are girls. He says, well, I mean, come on. This is a women's march. I would think you guys would know what a woman is, right? It's a women's march. Ooh, then what is a woman? You had that one brother. I don't know. Really? A 5-year-old kid knows what a woman. They had a Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, a Kindergarten Cop, where the little kid tells the kid in the classroom and to say, hey, a woman is a woman that has a vagina and a man is a person that has a penis. Yes, the little kid who's freaking 6 years old knew. But we got a Supreme Court justice who's going to be freaking, judging shiz nationwide. Doesn't know what a woman is, but that little 5-year-old boy that knows what a woman is. Can somebody please tell me what's going on? What's going on with our world? What's going on with our society? This is the craziness that we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what Matt Walsh is trying to get down to. This is what he's trying to get into and so forth. So I'm going to show you this last little bit here, and then we'll go ahead and end this bad boy, because I'm trying to go too long. But you're going to see this last interview with this freaking nuthead. And it goes off the walls and everything. Just check this shiz out so I'm not going crazy.
What we do in gender studies is not just reduce gender to what psychologists might call individual differences, but rather thinking about gender. And that's not women and man, but gender as a social form, something that kind of infuses itself into virtually all aspects of social life.
Let's talk about that then. I guess we should start with, we've got gender and sex, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference between the two? Is there a difference?
I saw that in your questions, and I thought, my goodness, this is what we spend an entire semester kind of thinking through. But what we tend to think about in the social sciences today is that sex refers to a set of biological characteristics, and gender
Now think about that, ladies and gentlemen. He said we spent an entire semester trying to figure out what a woman is. Babe, you only had to take one class for one day to know what that was, correct?
Yes, you learned that a woman is born with reproductive organs.
Right.
Such as the ovaries.
Exactly. As my wife said, a woman is born with reproductive organs that can, the woman has the fallopian tubes and the ovaries. Yeah. The ovaries and the that's a female. Only women have the ovaries. And they have a thing called a menstrual cycle. Well, I told you guys about earlier. A period. I don't believe I've ever had a period ever in my life because I'm a man. I have balls that create semen, sperm. Women have ovaries ovaries that create eggs that fall down the little tubes, the fallopian tubes, I believe, and everything, and they lay into the woman's womb and everything. And when the menstrual cycle, when the month goes by, body naturally cleans itself out and gets rid of that particular egg, and then a new egg comes down and hits into that spot. That's what women can do. Men can't do that. For all you people out there that are ignorant enough to actually believe the bullshit that comes out of people's mouths like this professor here. Let's move on and continue with his stupidity.
Instructor category. What I think is often misleading about that characterization is allowed to be sort of messy and complicated. But in that framing, when you split them up into these wholly discrete constructs, studies scholars, and really more specifically people who study gender and sex, we're not talking about sexuality right now, in the kind of academic universe that I travel in, is that we see how deeply gendered ideas, cultural ideas about masculinity and femininity, maleness and femaleness, both in humans and in lots of other animals.
So are gender and sex two different things, or?
Well, I think that they both are and they aren't. I'm comfortable saying that gender and sex are two different constructs, but they're deeply intertwined with each other.
We're talking about gender and sex, and there's a lot of controversies there. If we're talking about a trans woman has all of the male physical characteristics, so would that not be a male then? Couldn't we plainly say this person is a male?
Well, I guess it's like, why are you asking the question? I think I want to understand sort of why that's so important. So if someone tells you...
Just to sort of understand reality,
Well, I mean, I think when someone tells you who they are, you should believe them. So if a person says that they're a woman or they're a man, then that's them.
So if a person tells me they're Superman and they can fly through the air, I should believe that they're Superman. Somebody comes up to me and tells me that they're King Kong, you know, that big giant ape that's about thousands of feet high and everything. He's King Kong. I should believe he's King Kong. Or Godzilla, maybe. I don't know. Let's go there. You know, hey, if I go up to the people of the country and get on YouTube right now and tell everybody, I'm the president of the United States. Should everybody believe that I'm the president of the United States? Or are they going to call me crazy? Well, you don't look like the white guy with the shedded hair all over and doesn't talk in sentences correctly. Yeah, you don't look like him. No, I'm the president. I'm Joe Biden. I'm Sleepy Joe. Creepy Joe, actually. Yeah. The guy likes to smell women's hair. That guy. Let's continue. Let's continue.
I'm telling you their gender is. I'm not so sure what social interactions would have to do with maleness or femaleness that would.
Well, I'm not even talking about social context. I'm just trying to start by getting to the truth. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really uncomfortable with that language of like getting to the truth.
A statement about who I am that's incorrect. You just really don't want to answer the questions, do you?
I came today very willing and enthusiastic about answering questions about women's and gender sexuality studies, which is the work that I do.
You wanted to answer questions about women's studies, and so shouldn't the...
And we can be all happy because I'm down to split this country in half. I'm truly at the point where it is ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen, to be dealing with these type of people. These people have literally lost their minds. They are on Satan's freaking road to another place that's not going to be good. And they're all finding that out when the end day comes. A lot of these people say, oh, I'm a Christian. Oh, I believe in God. You know, these people always say this stuff all the time, but they don't really truly believe in God. Because God says in Leviticus and everything, a man shall not lie with another man as he would a woman. This is just one of the times God says it. He says it many times in the Bible. But this is in Leviticus if you guys don't believe me. Look it up and everything. God looks at this as an abomination for you Christians out there. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are not real Christians. The ones that actually act like they're Christians, but believe in what these people believe. You are not following God's word. I'm telling you right now. If you want to truly say that you're a Christian is one that seeks out God's purpose, follows God's word, abides by that word. Yes, we'll mess up because we're all sinners and everything. But we know that we mess up. We brush our sins off. We ask God for forgiveness and we try to go down the right path and try not to do it again. These people live in the lunacy that they live. They believe that they're correct and they think God thinks this way. God does not think like that, but they would know that if they actually read the Bible. They don't read the Bible, people. They just want to act and pretend. Because they like to be in this thing my mom used to call lukewarm. God doesn't like lukewarm. He either likes you hot or cold. You're either going to be for him or you're going to be against him. There's only one of two ways. There's no in the middle. There's no gray and so forth. And these people like to live in a gray area. They like to think that they're moral. They're not. They're insane and they all need to be locked up in an insane asylum and they need help. They're psychologically messed up and they want to make everybody else messed up like them. And so forth. And my thing is this. I don't care what you want to do with yourself. You want to call yourself a woman. You want to call yourself whatever the heck you want to be. You want to wear a dress. You want to put the lipstick on. You want to go breast. Whatever, bro. Do you? I don't care. I'm not going to have a problem with you. And so forth. I'll still be chill with you. I'll be cool. As long as you don't force it on me, though. The minute you say, well, I'm a they. So you got to call me they. I'm going to be like, get out of my face. I can call you a she if you're a she. I'm going to call you a he if you're a he. I'm not falling into your world fantasy. You live there. I do not. Do not force me to live in your world, because now you're imbuking on my rights, and you're messing with me now. And when you mess with me, I'm coming at you with rawness. That's how this is going, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what I'm coming at you with. I'm glad Matt Walsh came out with this daggum documentary and so forth, because people need to realize our world is getting insane and it's going down the cuckoo, and it's not going to be too long before that daggum meteor that's headed our way. Yeah. Oh yeah, they ain't telling you guys about that, are they? Yeah. And everything. Free up my schedule, do what I do when I grew, when I